Hello everyone. In this class, we will cover the topic Coulomb's law. As we all know that there are two types of charges, that is positive charge and negative charge. Positive charge is developed when any atom loses its electron, and negative charge developed on the body where it gains an electron. So we all know that the charges has the property that like charge repel each other, unlike charge attract each other. So this attraction and repulsion phenomena in the charges is due to the force between them. So we must know what this force is, how this force is governed, and what is the law to find this forces between the two charges. So the law which help us find the electrostatic force between the charges, point charges, is Coulomb's law. According to this law, force of attraction, according to this law, according to this law, force of attraction or repulsion, force of attraction or repulsion between any two point charges at rest is directly proportional to the product of to the product of the magnitude of charges and is inversely proportional and is to the square of the distance between them, square of the distance between them. So this is the statement of this Coulomb's law. So now we will derive the mathematical expression for the same using this statement. This statement says that the force, let's consider two charges, part that is this one, second, that is represented by q1, this will be represented by q2. Let these two charges are separated by distance r. So according to this law, force of interaction is directly proportional to the product of two charges and force is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Combining these two, force will be directly proportional to q1 q2 over r square. So for removing this proportionality sign, we introduced a constant f is equal to, let's say, k q1 q2 over r square. So this k is known as electrostatic force constant. This k is electrostatic force constant. or we can say Coulomb's constant. So on what factor this value of K will depend? This value of K will depend on number one, system of unit used. Number second, the nature of medium in which charges are placed. The nature of medium in which charge is placed. So these are the two factors on which this electrostatic force constant depends. Let's say first we will find Coulomb's law in SI unit. So that is the most important, that like whenever you are implementing any of the formula, you should consider all the parameters in the same system of units. So whether it's SI system, CGS, MKS or FPS, whatever suits you, you can do that. Okay, good. So value of electrostatic force constant here in SI will be denoted by N SI. K is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 raised to power minus 12 Coulomb square Newton inverse meter inverse square. This will be the unit of this epsilon naught. What is epsilon naught? This is known as absolute permittivity of free space. Absolute permittivity of free space in vacuum or air. So this is the value of epsilon naught. Putting this value in this, the value of K will be K is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 raised to power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Is it clear? So this will be the value of K we will use in numerical formulas. Is it okay? Now let's consider like this epsilon naught represent the absolute permittivity of free space in vacuum. That is between the charges के बीच में जो स्पेस है वो क्या है, वैक्यूम है या फिर एयर है. अगर उस स्पेस को हम रिप्लेस कर दें किसी मीडियम से, लेट्स से whatever electrostatic, you can replace it by rubber, mica, water, metal, glass, wax, air, whatever you can fill it with. So how will it affect the force between the two charges? So there another term get introduced, that is relative permittivity. And dielectric constant of a medium. So with the name you can say that it is a relative relation between the permittivities. Like every medium has its own permittivity. So relative permittivity says that one permittivity of one material with respect to another. So what this relative permittivity is? So relative permittivity may be defined as the ratio of electrostatic force ratio of electrostatic force between 2 point charges separated by a certain distance. Separated by certain distance in air or vacuum, in air or vacuum. To the electrostatic force Fm between the same 2 points charges. Same 2 point charges separated by the same distance in the medium. By same distance in the medium. So this is the definition of relative permittivity. To understand, let's say let's calculate the Coulomb's law in a medium of relative permittivity ER. So if the relative permittivity is ER, the Coulomb law will be given as force in the medium will be equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r q1 q2 over r square. Let's consider it as equation 1. Force in air or vacuum will be given by 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 over r square. Let it be equation 2. Now dividing equation 2 by equation 1, we get if you divide them, you will get that the relative permittivity is equal to A over force in the medium, or in another word, or relative permittivity will be equal to epsilon over epsilon naught. This relative permittivity can also be termed as dielectric constant, represented by capital K. Here epsilon is equal to permittivity of medium, and epsilon naught permittivity of free space, whether it's air or vacuum. So we have got the relation between forces between the air and the medium, and the value of dielectric constant here. Now we will find the units, SI units of epsilon naught, and then we will find the dimensions of this epsilon naught, that is relative permittivity of free space. So first we will find SI unit of epsilon naught. We know that F is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 over R square. So this gives epsilon naught is equal 1 over 4 pi F Q1 Q2 over R square. We know that now in SI system of unit charges has unit Coulomb, denoted by capital C, unit of force capital F, force F will be Newton, denoted by capital N. This unit of distance R between the charges is meter, denoted by small m. So putting all these value in the above equation, we will get epsilon naught is equal to Coulomb square Newton meter square, that is equal to Coulomb square Newton inverse meter inverse square. So this is the unit of absolute permittivity of free space. Now we will find the dimension formula of epsilon naught. So we know that epsilon naught is equal Q1 Q2 over 4 pi F R square. Now Q1 equal Q2 is equal I into T, because current I is equal to charge over time. In 11th class we have studied about the fundamental quantities. So time is the fundamental quantity, basic quantity, and current is the basic quantity. So any dimensions, any unit will be represented in terms of fundamental quantity. Here I represent the current, T represent the time. Also dimension of force will be MLT minus 2. In the same way, dimension of R will be equal to L. So combining all these parameters in one equation, we will get dimension of epsilon naught to be I into T I T over M L T to L square. So we will get M minus 1 L minus 3 T 4 A. So dimension, though this current can be represented in terms of I or A, whatever suits. So we will do it I square or M minus 1 L minus 3 T4 A raised to power 2. So we can rewrite the dimension in these terms. Okay. So now dimensions are done. We will discuss some of the characteristics of electrostatic force or Coulomb force. What are the characteristics of this force? Number one, this force is central force. Now this term central force, what does that mean? That is, it acts along a line joining the centers of the bodies, joining the centers of body or particle. That is, if these are the two charges, let's say positive charge, so we know that positive charge repel each other. So this force, this charge Q1, this Q2, this charge will apply a force on this one in this direction, that is F on 1 due to 2, and this charge will apply a repulsive force on this charge in this direction, that is F on 2 due to 1. So we can see from here that the force at F12 and F21 on these two charges are along this line that is joining these two charges. Okay. Second characteristic, electrostatic force obeys inverse square law. Electrostatic force obeys inverse square law. What is inverse square law? That is, F is inversely proportional to distance square, distance between two charges. Third, electrostatic force, nature of forces between these two charges. What will be the nature? Either it's attractive or repulsive in nature. So we can say that electrostatic force between two charges can be attractive They got like charges or repulsive. No, not like. It will be unlike charges, and repulsive will be like charges. Okay. Fourth point, we can say the force between two charges is not affected by the presence of other charges. Electrostatic force between two charges is not affected by the presence of other charges. So these are the some of the characteristics affected. So spelling mistake, it's T. Affected by the presence of other charges. So once you have known about the characteristic of electrostatic force, there are some of the limitations. So once there is always good side and bad side, what are the drawbacks or limitations of this electrostatic force or Coulomb law? We will go through it now. Now, limitations of Coulomb's law. Number one, it holds good for point charges at rest. Point charges at rest. Number two, it is an experimental law. It is an experimental law. Experimental law. This is medium dependent. As we know, we have studied earlier, like with the change in medium, the force of interaction between the two charges changes. So we can conclude that this is medium dependent. Fourth, for a distance less than 10 raised to power minus 15 meter, it loses its validity. Why does it lose its validity? Like less than 10 raised to power minus 15 meter distance, the nuclear forces come into play. That's why this electrostatic force or Coulomb's law doesn't hold good on a distance less than 10 raised to power minus 10 meters. So these are some of the limitations we have highlighted now of the Coulomb's law. So that's all for now. In our next class, we will discuss Coulomb's law in vector form, and then we will move on the superposition principle, that is forces between multiple electrical charges. All right guys, have a good day.